so Wenonah Valentine, I was honored to be able to be introduced to Wenonah about a year ago through my boss, Dr. Melissa Johnson at the Institute for Girls Development. And it was, for me, a very amazing experience to meet Wenonah, and since then we've been able to develop a relationship where I felt very mentored by her, and we're also bonded by the fact that we're both gauchos. We discovered that we're both UCSB alumni, and yeah, UC Santa Barbara, and she also recently has started serving on the board of the UCSB Alumni Association. So she's very passionate about her involvement with our university. And there's a lot of information about Wenonah because she has so much experience and does wonderful things in the community. So I'm going to read some more things for you because I can't keep it all in my head. So Wenonah Valentine is the founding executive director of the Pasadena Birthing Project and operates the oldest birthing project USA chapter in the state of California. The Pasadena Birthing Project serves the San Gabriel Valley, historic West Adams, and student families enrolled at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Since 1994, the Pasadena Birthing Project has evolved as a learning organization by facilitating 5 national initiatives, introducing key messages for community engagement and equipping volunteers as peer health advocates. Under her 14-year leadership, Ms. Valentine has brought together leaders from the nonprofit, corporate, and government sectors to develop grassroots solutions to basic community problems. She is a model developer, innovator of smart partnerships, responder to trends, growth, or organized abandonment, translator sharing the heart of qualitative data and research, and generational mentor inspiring a greater Los Angeles community, faculty, student, and staff collaborative for the Office of Minority Health's Preconception Peer Educator campaign. Her 36-year career in community service leadership has developed from her unique background and experiences as a college student and mother that have nurtured a passion to serve as a parent advocate, board director, and nationally recognized collaborator. She's received numerous awards and recognition for her work. In 2009, she conceptualized and implemented a peer-to-peer learning institute for the Pasadena Executive Director Roundtable and graduated 20 nonprofit leaders for brainstorming strategies to thrive in the new economy as local and regional collaborators. So there's lots more, but I will leave that for Wenonah to share with you. And so without further ado, here's Wenonah.
Is the mic on?
Yes.
It is. Okay, great. Well, I'm a walker and a talker, so I'm going to try and do all of this together. I have my instructions of what to do. I'm already in front of the PowerPoint, but I thought I'd read something. I think what's important to talk about African American women is to recognize that we have a long history that relates to how we live psychologically, how we interact with one another, what's happening to our bodies. Today there is a very special author who is speaking at an empowerment conference in Long Beach, and I would have loved to have been at her session, but I'm here. So I thought I'd bring her book. Dr. Gail Wyatt is a sex therapist at UCLA. The name of the book is called Stolen Women: Reclaiming Our Sexuality and Taking Back Our Lives. So when I was on the train this morning, I take the Gold Line into Pasadena, and I wanted to read this little bit. So if you would just indulge me, I think this is just astounding. So she's writing in her introduction, "Finally, this book is as much about me as it is about you. No women are more devalued in our society than women of color. It's been said that every woman bears the burden of sexual stereotyping at some point during her lifetime. That may be true. White women are often depersonalized. That may be true. White women are often depersonalized, labeled as less than intelligent or incompetent. But the depersonalization of black women focuses on our sexuality first. In our homes, in our neighborhoods, and around the world, Powerful stereotypes rooted in slavery perpetuate myths about who we are. Society's message is that to be black and female is to be without sexual control, to be irresponsible about our sexuality. Regardless of our circumstances, our age or appearance, someone may assume that we are sexually available or for sale at some price. These are sobering words, because when we think about infant mortality in the African American community, it really is a convergence of all of these issues. I've often wondered, as a community woman with the charge of really leading our clinicians, our mothers, looking at our babies, talking to our fathers, and why African American women, we're going to see a very astounding slide near the end, but why us? Why is it, regardless of our economic background, regardless of our educational background, regardless of where we live, who we are, what we've achieved, why is it that African American women have the highest rate of preterm births and low birth weight babies, which are the two indicators that lead to infant death? Why us? So when I read this little introduction, and this book was written in 1997, I suggest all of you to get it, because it will provide a background in history as you practice and work with women and understand there's a bigger issue, and it's important for us to know our history, because what happened in slavery, unfortunately, we still are responding to some of the issues, the way we're treated. We are also responding some of the issues that we didn't even know that were there, because our mothers or our grandmothers, or if we were fortunate enough to meet our great-grandmothers, didn't tell us what happened to them so that we would be prepared. So what a way to open up National Minority Health Month. So our conversation today is not going to be that sobering. It really is my opportunity to just share with you what we've been able to do here in Pasadena, the communities that we serve, and how we've been able to engage a dialogue. I think that it doesn't matter what the data says, if we don't care about babies in our community, which is the indicator of a healthy community, we might as well go on to another profession. So with that said, tell me again, okay, I can use the remote, the wireless, but I don't always use that, so I'm going to just go on with this. This particular quote, you know, I'm always intrigued by the quotes that people have at the end of their email. And one of our faculty advisors uses this quote, which I'm just going to read to you because there's another quote that's going to come behind it. Of all the forms of inequality, injustice in healthcare is the most shocking and inhumane. We all respect the words and the writings and the teachings of Dr. Martin Luther King. But I had a colleague to quote me the other day. And actually she says, Wenonah, you awakened the scientific community specifically to get outside of the lab and hear the voice of the people. And everyone who knows me, I said, let's write that down. Because you know, in a grant writing arena or in telling our story, what we say and how we pull it together is what draws people in. And so I encourage you, even today, and from this point forward, if someone says something astounding that really helps to underwrite your work, that's what really catches our attention. Because it's with this statement, it really capsulized really what's happened over the last 14 years in working in this arena. So you have 3 learning objectives today. And I tell you, this was not easy to bring a convergence of how we did it, And for the first time, I've been able to put it together in a PowerPoint. So indulge me. There's a lot more that I could talk about, but trust me, it's only 30 slides. So you don't have to think that we're going to be here forever. And that's because I want us to engage in a dialogue. So again, there are 3 primary learning objectives you're going to be prompted through, so you don't have to remember them now. But I think what's most important to recognize is that we have had the charge as the Pasadena Birthing Project. We are the oldest chapter in Birthing Project USA. Birthing Project USA is known as the Underground Railroad for New Life. So I love the historical context of our work because it allows me to be able to tell our story from a standpoint of who we are from history, how history is still applied today, and then we are doing things from a historical context that makes sense to the work that we pull together. So, you know, when I look at the background of Harriet Tubman, she was not the only conductor of the Underground Railroad. She was the most famous because under her watch, there were at least 200 people that she brought from the South to freedom, which included her parents and most of her siblings. And so I have the privilege of standing on those tall shoulders because when I came to Pasadena Birthing Project, I thought, how difficult can this be? I've been a sister friend, I've been sister friended, but I since learned I had to really embrace the information. And part of embracing the information that the hospital here has become our training campus. We have a 16-year history with the hospital. What's really important is that, I'm going to need some water. What's really important is that Huntington Hospital is a level 3 hospital, so it has, for the San Gabriel Valley, the neonatal unit, the perinatal high risk, all of the specialists that you possibly can have are here. But what's more important is that I've had the opportunity, thank you, to be here at the hospital when mothers needed support because they need to be on bed rest. I've had the privilege to be at the hospital to see healthy babies born. And I've also had the privilege to be able to support moms and dads and say, you know what, you have to go into this room and your baby is this size. And you have to go in and love your baby and talk to your baby. And when we're in a small community like this, it's really important because even here, the prejudices of, oh, well, how come nobody's here visiting her? Well, consider that she may be a single mom, or, you know what, they can't leave work, so the husband has to, they may be young, but he's working, and that's her husband. You know, or she has other, you know, children at home, or there could be a variety of reasons. But the fact is that we've had the privilege in this work to come and to stand with our families, and I think that's important to know. I need a little bit more water. So have some standby for me, please. Thank you.